Welcome to the XFO Intelligence Podcast. So today we're going to talk about our future, and not some distant, abstract future, but the one that's being forged, right now, in this very moment. See, a recent synthesis of research from the One Earth Alliance event, this was brought together by Brendon Wong. It's delivered a message of, stark and urgent clarity. And the message is this: we are living in the decisive decade. And look, the climate crisis and the public health crisis, they're not two separate things anymore. They've converged. The climate crisis is a health emergency. And it's happening right now. I mean, millions of people, they're already dying every single year from the direct consequences of this. From the air pollution that's filling our cities to the food insecurity that's being driven by a volatile climate. It's like Professor Abraham Abubakar of University College London put it. He said, "This is not a problem of the future. It is the problem that is affecting us today." And our modern world, it turns out it's trapped. It's stuck in these vicious, self-reinforcing cycles. The analysis, it identifies them pretty clearly. Okay, so first, there's the health-climate spiral, right? So climate degradation, that leads to worse health. And that creates economic strain, which then cripples our ability to take climate action, which then leads to, even more degradation. We're just spiraling. Then there's what they call the economic misalignment loop. And this is a big one. Our system, it basically rewards short-term profit, right? By pushing all the environmental and health costs onto society. And that creates this massive hidden economic burden that we all end up paying for. So breaking these cycles, it's going to require a fundamentally new approach. So where do we look for a blueprint? The research suggests we look to nature. Okay, so imagine a simple organism. A slime mold. Intrigued, when it's faced with a complex maze, it doesn't panic, it doesn't use brute force. No, it elegantly finds the most efficient, the most optimal path to its goal, and with minimal energy. This blueprint for our survival, really, it's inspired by that same natural intelligence. It's an optimized three-phase strategy. So, phase 1. That's this decisive decade, right now until 2035. This is the foundation. It calls for the highest return interventions we can possibly make. Things like tripling global renewable capacity to 15,000 gigawatts, accelerating electric vehicles to, say, 60% of new sales, and launching global reforestation on a massive scale. We're talking 250 million hectares. And see, these aren't just climate actions. They are public health initiatives. They clean the air we breathe. They secure the food we eat. Okay, then phase 2. This takes us up to 2050, and it's all about acceleration and scaling up. This is where we start to deploy next-gen solutions for, heavy industry, things like green hydrogen. And we scale up technology to literally pull carbon directly from the air. We start to build a circular carbon economy, where captured CO2 actually becomes a valuable resource for building materials, for clean fuels. And then phase 3, from 2051 to 2100. This is about achieving a new equilibrium. System stabilization. It's about reaching net negative emissions globally, restoring our damaged ecosystems, and cementing a global economy that actually prioritizes human and planetary well-being over just simple GDP. I know what you might be thinking: the cost, the disruption. But here is the most profound insight in this entire blueprint. The notion that this transition is a burden, it's a myth. This is the greatest economic opportunity of the 21st century. The analysis is, it's crystal clear. Mobilizing the required, $5 to $7 trillion a year, that will stimulate an estimated $50 trillion in new economic activity. $50 trillion. And it will create over 100 million new high-quality jobs by 2050. It's just like Dr. Michael Spence at UCL noted. It's about, and I quote, telling the good business stories of companies that turn a profit while reducing their environmental impact. Conclusively, this isn't about sacrifice. It's about smart, resilient, and profitable innovation. And this isn't some vague global dream either. The strategy identifies a leverage point, and it's Asia. I mean, it's home to 60% of the world's population. It's a leader in renewable manufacturing. The region is just perfectly positioned to become the engine for this whole transformation. So where does that leave us? This comprehensive analysis, it makes one thing undeniably clear. We have the knowledge, we have the technology, we have a sound economic model that promises a more prosperous and healthier world. The blueprint, it's on the table. What we've lacked is not solutions. It's the collective will to implement them at the scale and speed that's necessary. This report isn't just an analysis, it's an invitation to think deeply, to contribute to the discussion, and most importantly, an invitation to act. The choice of this decisive decade, it belongs to us. So, as we close, we want to leave you with a question for you to take into your week, your work, and your community. The blueprint outlines the roles for governments and for corporations, but looking at your own life, what is the one most impactful action you can champion to help write the next chapter of this decisive decade?